Hey everyone, I just wanted to show you the state of this project as it stands on my end right now. So let me just start by playing a little bit. All right, we start. You can see the demon guy, he's patrolling off there in the distance. Right now she can shoot her fireball, she can teleport, and she can also do melee combat if we use the right mouse button. So I'll walk up there or run up there. And remember, there's a trigger volume surrounding this area. And that is what's going to change the music in this case as soon as I cross over it. And he comes after me. Now, of course, I can shoot him. I can also teleport away. That needs a sound effect. And also remember, we've got his footsteps and the camera shake that intensifies as he gets closer to us. I also have the ability for our hero to get hurt using those collision spheres that we placed around his hands. Now, I have not yet scripted her death, but we have scripted his. Ooh, that hurts. Okay, he's got to be almost gone by now. Where'd I go? Oh, I missed. I have a collision volume around my knife too, I just don't think it's big enough. One more shot, and he's a goner. And when he explodes, we have our victory music. And then it'll go right back into our wander music for our next encounter. Okay, so I hope you followed that. Event begin play. Here in the level blueprint, I've got event begin play, play wander loop. And that's coming from our music manager, which was in the world already, and I just dragged it into the level blueprint. There is a big collision volume around where this demon lives. This one is nothing. Excuse me, I left that in there by mistake. Trigger box 2, get rid of that. And on begin overlap, I also dragged that into our level blueprint. And you can see on actor begin overlap trigger box, it's casting to our hero. And as soon as I promoted that to a variable just in case I'd need it for anything. And we've got our reference to the music manager, play action music. That is triggered. And the reason that they don't play at the same time is because I overrode the concurrency and set it to one voice and used a 3 or 4 second voice steal release time to make it a smoother transition. Now, this bind event to on monster death comes from that event dispatcher that we have on the demon. Okay, recall one more time that in the demon, every time it's hit, we are doing the health calculation here. So when its health is less than or equal to 0, that becomes a condition for this branch. If it is less than or equal to 0, and that is true, then this takes the true is death path. Okay, so everything that comes out of true is going to be the sequence that causes it to die. And if it doesn't die, then out of false, it just keeps on doing what it has been doing and chasing us around and trying to hurt us. So let's look at the death path, however. Okay, let's say it's that final blow that brings the health down to 0. I disable the movement and stop movement immediately because I am playing a death animation montage. All right, so that plays. At the same time, I'm playing sound at location, which is that death cry sound cue that I made. And I have the actor location because we are in the strong demon blueprint itself. All I need is self here for the target. So get actor location, plug it in there. And I waited 7 seconds for no particular reason. I wanted it to lay there for a little while before making it look like it was destroyed. To make it look like it was destroyed, I didn't want to actually destroy the actor until the very end of the sequence. But again, to make it look like it was destroyed, after 7 seconds, I hide its visibility. Okay, so I set actor hidden in game. And I have to check this box, new hidden, if it did start out as hidden. So this is going to be new hidden as I spawn the explosion. Okay, and I also increase the scale of that. So it's going to look like it blows up, and I accompany that with a sound. And right here is where I call the event dispatcher. The event dispatcher, I just made it here by clicking this plus button, and I called it on monster death. And if I drag that into the graph, I can call it. So that's exactly what I did there. I just called that event. And that envelope is called a delegate. So that allows other blueprints to listen for this and do something when this happens. But I would not be able to call this if the actor was already destroyed, right? Because it comes from this actor. So I have to simulate destroying it first. I know it sounds odd, but you've got to simulate destroying it first. Then I called the dispatcher, and I gave it an extra half a second just to do any garbage collection. And then I did destroy actor. Now, destroy actor, if I did none of the rest of this, destroy actor would make it disappear. But it would also remove it from memory. So anything that I needed to do would not work. That's why it's at the very end here. So here is the dispatcher, and we can find the binding to this delegate here in the level blueprint, okay? So I just use this. Once you have a reference to the actor that is calling the event dispatcher, and I do, okay? Remember, I've got my reference to the strong demon here because I just dragged it into the level blueprint. So from there, I pulled off, and I chose bind event to on monster death, and that gives me this node. This will not be populated, so you pull off of there, and you create a custom event that you can rename. So I just pulled off, create custom event on monster death event. And then from there, I use the music manager to play the victory cue, which will automatically stop the action music. Remember, the concurrency is one voice, and it's 12 seconds long. So I delayed this for 11 seconds. It's approximately 12 seconds long, I think. So I delayed this for 11 seconds, and then I allowed the wander loop to resume, because I know that this is going to fade out over a certain period of time, and I wanted it to be smooth. So once again, we can look and listen to this in action. And once again, it's saving, so let me pause, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and let's look and listen one more time. Remember that the music starts on begin play with the wander loop, and it will not change until I begin overlap into this territory where the demon lives, okay? So let's go ahead and play. And you can see the demon patrolling if you look carefully. He's out there somewhere. I see him. As soon as I overlap that collision, or that trigger box, he hasn't seen me yet. We're using pawn season here. Okay, let me teleport out of here before it gets too violent. Alright, it's not going to take much to kill it. Of course, the teleport, as I said, needs a sound effect, obviously, and maybe a vocalization of some kind. I did change the animation, or actually, I removed the animation for the teleport. I liked it more when it was instantaneous. Okay, 7 seconds. Get the victory music. That's 12 seconds long, but it starts to fade out. And I didn't want it to take too long before the wander music resumes. Okay? I'd also like to take a moment and take our music manager and turn that off for a moment. Let's play the game again. Oh, you know what? It's happening on begin play in the level blueprint. So let me go back in there. And I'm just going to disconnect that for the time being. And I want to remind you about some of the ambient sound that you hear after this saves. Okay, I'll hit pause again. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. And now I want to go into the game where we no longer have the music. So I can hear the monster's footsteps in the distance when it's close enough. I can hear our hero's footsteps too. And these spatialized sounds, some of them are area emitters, and some of them are spawning randomly at different distances and from different locations with respect to our character as the origin. I suppose I should have disconnected that too. But, okay, I remember what we did. We made separate blueprints. We had a crow randomizer. We had something like a wolf randomizer, and birds, I think. And we made each one of them into a blueprint, okay? So, for example, and they all worked roughly the same way. So I've got this blueprint right here, which was for the crows. So on event begin play, I could have gotten this with a cast, but get actor of class will also work. Promoted that to a variable, so we have a reference to BP_hero. And I have a start crows custom event, which is being called right there. And here is the custom event that I think we made first. So it starts that, and I'm using this delay using a random float and range because I don't want the crows. That's sound cue, by the way, if you recall. It's right here. Had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different crow calls, right? And they're randomized. So which one plays is going to be random when it plays and probably of a different pitch and volume by a small amount. But in the randomizer itself, I made the frequency, or how often you would hear a crow, a minimum of 3 seconds apart and a maximum of 7 seconds apart, and they're not going to be the same one twice in a row. Okay, so that's why that's random. And you can make these values whatever suits you. So that is delaying before it plays the sound at a location. but I don't want it to be at a specific location. So therefore, off of location, I start by getting the actor's location, which is our hero. Remember, we got a reference to the hero here by getting the actor and promoting it to a variable using getActorLocation, and that becomes the origin. And then I can specify a radius. This is in centimeters, right? So this can be converted to meters if you like. So that is 60 meters, I guess, if I did the math in my head correctly. But it can be as large or as small as you want. And this is going to be, this is inside this node, by the way, get random reachable point in radius. You can just search for that, get random reachable point in radius, and it's the same node. And it needs an origin. The origin is the listener, the actor, okay, our character. And specify a radius. And then that random location goes into the location pin for play sound at location. So therefore, I never know exactly how often I'm going to hear a crow and how far away it's going to sound, because they do have spatialization and attenuation on them. So I can make that as large or as small as I want and set the attenuation settings any way I like, okay? And this is a bookended. So once I call it, this custom event will just keep going forever. And I did the exact same kind of thing with the wolves, okay? So for all those ambient sounds that are animal noises that could be coming from any location and from any distance, this is how you do that, okay? In addition, we also had, I think, just various ambient sounds just placed throughout the level, like that torch, which I forgot about, and the bed bugs, or night bed bugs. These are just ambient sounds. They were sound cues that I just dragged into the level in different locations and set them up so that they had attenuation and spatialization so that they would rotate when we walk in different directions or turn in different directions. But then again, there was also things just like the wind, and that was an ambient sound that isn't spatialized, okay? So that is just there all the time, and you can add as much of that as you like. So one last time, let me go back into here, and we'll start our wander loop, and we can hear all those things together as soon as that saves. As always, I'll be right back. Okay, so this is hooked back up again, the wander loop and everything else. I think we should be hearing everything now, so let's have a listen. Okay, so the birds and the wind, the high-pitched birds, excuse me, were just from starter content. But those ravens, take a moment and listen, and also listen for the wolves. So that's pretty random. I'm very pleased with how that turned out. And if you need a reminder or a refresher on how to make these camera shakes work, he's probably gonna, he'll walk right through that. I forgot to put collision on there. Where are you? Yeah, just let me know if you need a refresher. Ooh, I missed. This is just fun at this point. Come on, get me. Haha! Oh, you're gonna die, my friend. Yeah, it looks like she's supposed to have another weapon in that other hand. Yeah, we've got those crickets in different area loops as well. And obviously we could populate the rest of this landscape, which came from a height map, and I discarded the large one that I was using previously and opted for a 2K landscape instead, just to preserve a little bit of performance. If you want a larger world than this, there are more advanced ways to do that, but it's a little outside the scope of what we're doing at the moment. All right, so I think that's it for tonight, and tomorrow I'm going to film another video in regard to audio volumes, because I know we only briefly covered them in class and then ran out of time. Audio volumes are very, very interesting and important to know about, so we'll go over that again on Monday, but I will make a video either today or tomorrow and have it posted before Monday. Okay, thanks for your time, and I look forward to seeing you. Bye-bye.